finally we can move. Okay, let's accept our quest.
I assume you are already aware that you will be teaching here at the Officers Academy, correct? To start, please speak with the 3 house leaders. You should also take a look around the academy and acquaint yourself with your new home. That is your first task here at the monastery. Please let me know if you accept it. Once you have finished, come and speak with me.
It would be hilarious if you could just say no and walk out of there.
May I ask a favor?
And I mean, you can decline her quest, but nothing happens. You have to accept that quest, so let's take it. Yeah, blah blah, we know.
Ha! I imagine you were a bit surprised that I recommended you as a professor here. Frankly, we had someone else in mind for the role, but they ran off during our dust-up with the bandits. Can't entrust students to someone who's abandoned them once before, huh?
You saved the lives of the students you came across. That, at least, was admirable. Now you should make the rounds. Go around the monastery and see that you greet everyone.
Alright, will do. It's gonna take like 500 years before everybody loads in here. Let's see, how long does it take for the pop-in? Oh, there we go. Look, we've got people. So this guy is from the Black Eagles. Also Black Eagles. Yes, that is a tattoo on Petra's face, I think. And Mercedes seems a bit eccentric, you don't say. Everybody in this cast is eccentric. Ash is the best, yeah, true. Lawrence is a true noble. Yeah, I guess. Linhardt always seems laid back because he doesn't care. You bet you could take Casper in a fight. Good luck with that. Bernadetta is always in her room. She's living the life.
So, you've accepted a teaching position here. Pity. I was hoping you would lend your strength to the Empire. I never properly introduced myself, did I? My name is Edelgard von Hresvelg. I am the princess and heir apparent of the Adrestian Empire. I wonder if you'll be tasked with leading the Black Eagles. I hope you've had a chance to meet everyone. Would you like to know more about any of the Black Eagles?
We are going to say yes here, and we are going to listen to each of their introductions, but we are not going to pick the Black Eagles, as already said. This is going to be an Azure Moon playthrough, so we're basically just doing this for the dialogue.
Me? Well, some think I'm a bit distant, arrogant even, but there's little to be done. One day I must rise to become Adrestia's next emperor. What else? Well, it seems to me that we may have similar personalities.
Yeah, if you wanted to, you could technically also check out the list of strengths that you have over there. So let me actually see. Can I get into a detailed view of that?
What else? Me? What else?
No, I cannot. I was hoping to actually be able to move my cursor there.
Hubert is the heir of Marquis Vestra. He has served me since I was a child. You may think his blood runs a bit cold, but actually that's rather accurate. Still, if you can get past that, you'll see he's quite astute and reasonable.
And you can see that basically the strengths and weaknesses at the side that are supposed to give you a bit of an idea of which classes these characters could belong into. They also do enforce a little bit of the characterization for the characters. So for example, Hubert has weaknesses in access, faith, and flying. He is legit afraid of heights. You learn that in, I think, if you choose Crimson Flower, it's in one of his Ask Box questions, that he's actually afraid of flying. He has a weakness in faith because he does not believe in the goddess and he doesn't like the church. And he has a weakness in access because he's very much a assassinate my enemies with poison kind of guy who does not like brute force. So that works as well. And then of course you have the ridiculous magic stat, which is just like, why would you give this guy an axe unless you're doing a meme run? And I mean, I have done meme runs before. I have done a Crimson Flower run where everybody was a Wyvern Lord. except for Hubert and Linhart, because I did not want to put myself through that mess.
For some reason, he thinks of me as a bitter rival and is always trying to challenge me. It's terribly irritating. His house is that of Duke Ire, which produces Adrestia's prime ministers. That family is perhaps too pleased with its own status.
As for the abilities that you see over there, the defining abilities, these are essentially personal abilities that belong to that character that can never be removed. Most of them are relatively useless, but he actually has one of the best. Hit an AVO plus 15 when at full HP. You can stack that with a lot of other bonuses. And it can turn him into an amazing dodge tank.
He's remarkably intelligent, but he only wishes to apply himself to tasks that particularly interest him, and nothing else. He's also fond of, well, napping. If he had any work ethic or sense of duty to speak of, I suppose he would be destined to become an official of the Empire. He's the second son of Count Burgleys. He has no inheritance in his future, which is perhaps why he's always so eager to prove himself. He's overly energetic and rushes headfirst into any battle. If he ends up in your care, be sure to keep a close eye on him. She's Count Varley's only daughter. I suppose you could say she's a bit eccentric, but she seems like a gentle soul. I believe she's shut herself away in her quarters and doesn't care to leave, but don't worry, I'll make sure she finds her way to class.
Now, this personal ability is another one of the good ones, because not being at full HP is very easy to do, and also it stacks with any other strength bonuses or attack bonuses you can give to her. So this can make her amazingly strong, especially if you give her a lance and vengeance. It's just, you can stack her attack stat incredibly high. And she has a crest, that's the one that you can see above her experience bar, that can occasionally make her attack twice. So she looks like one of the weakest characters, but if you build her right, she can actually be one of the best.
Few commoners have joined the Black Eagle House, but Dorothea is an exception. She's a songstress from a famous opera company in the Empire. I'm not entirely sure what brought her to the Officers' Academy.
Eligible bachelors, Edelgard. And if you had spent 5 minutes talking to her, you would know that. Because she's not subtle about it.
To the west of Fodlan is an archipelago called Brigid. Petra is the granddaughter of their king. Brigid is a vassal state of the Empire, which is how she came to be enrolled here. She's incredibly smart and studious.
Now, Petra. Unfortunately, her critical bonus only applies when the enemy is below 50 HP, at which point they're as good as dead anyway, you don't need a critical anymore. But I still love Petra. She is my favorite Black Eagle, hands down. I once did a non-hypocritical Crimson Flower playthrough where I did not use any benefits from the goddess, so that meant pretty much everybody who had a crest was out. It was a 4-person team of Casper, Hubert, Petra, and Dorothea, and Petra carried that run hard. Like, Wyvern Lord Petra, you're set. Alright, what else do we have? We cannot go over here. Okay.
Huh?
The Gatekeeper, the most overrated character in the entire game. He's such a meme in the community. I know a lot of people really like him. I'm like, he's okay, he's there. Like, I don't get it.
Greetings! You must be the new professor. What a pleasure. As for me, my job is to stand here at this glorious entrance and leisurely watch over the comings and goings of everyone. Make folks smile, you know? And by that, I mean to vigilantly guard this entrance with my very life. No levity whatsoever. As of now, nothing to report.
Like, admit he is funny sometimes, but Abysskeeper is better. Also, how do I get Dimitri to be my friend? Girl, you ask. Dimitri is like one of the most approachable people in the entire cast. Just ask him. Say, hey, I want to be your friend. Can we hang out together? Cool. Done. You're set. Alright. Let's talk to Claude.
Well, scored a teaching gig here, did you? Talk about a great first impression. I guess that means I'd better introduce myself properly. I'm Claude von Regan. I'm from the ruling house of the Leicester Alliance, but don't worry too much about all that madness. I'm guessing you don't know which class you'll be teaching yet, do you? I bet you'd like ours. We're not as difficult as the other two. Have you met the folks from the Golden Deer House yet? Care to know more about anyone?
Not as difficult. Claude, your house is made up of walking memes and character stereotypes. And one of them already hates my guts, so, you are more difficult than the others, I'm sorry.
Piqued your interest, have I? As luck would have it, I'm pretty curious about you as well. But what's life without a bit of mystery? Let's just spend the next year or so learning about each other little by little.
Let's not.
He's the heir of Gloucester territory. If you haven't already picked up on it, he's a bit arrogant and fancies himself a ladies' man. That said, deep down he's really devoted and honest. Though I wouldn't mind never hearing him talk about his noble obligations ever again.
So Lawrence is an interesting character because Lawrence starts out as one of the most obnoxious characters in my opinion, but he grows a lot. And I did actually come to like him quite a bit. Gameplay-wise, he's kind of so-so because he tries to be like half magic, half physical attacker. And thankfully in the second part he did just that awful hairdo. Like that's just not doing him any favors. But that's been memed to hell and gone even before the game came out, so...
He comes from a merchant family, but his parents died in an accident. Seems like he's had a rough life. Despite all that, he's just about the most cheerful guy you'll ever meet. His passions are training, eating, and... actually, that's about it.
Yeah, that's pretty much... You'll either hear him talk about muscles, food, or his sister. That's like the three topics that exist in Raphael's life. I once did a meme run of the Golden Deer where I put everyone into the Bow Knight class except for Raphael. He was my dancer. That was also quite hilarious. And I was out of everybody's range, so it really trivialized some of the maps.
He's the second son of a merchant family. Since his brother will inherit the business, he's training to become a knight. If you ask me, it doesn't seem like he truly wants to be a knight. He's probably just doing it to please his parents.
Now, Ignatz is an interesting character because he's not very strong. He is somewhat fast. But yes, I made Raphael my dancer. It was hilarious. He was actually pretty good at it at the end. That sword Evo is amazing. Now, but the funny thing about Ignatz is he's not particularly strong. He is somewhat fast, and he has some pretty good magic. But the thing is, he has hit plus 20, and that might seem like a useless thing to have until you play Maddening. Because in Maddening, you have the Swordbreaker, Lancebreaker, and Axebreaker skills, which most of the time in normal or hard you will ignore these. But in Maddening, almost every single enemy has one of these, and it just makes them really, really hard to hit. So having somebody who has hit plus 20 in Maddening, especially in early game Maddening, is such a lifesaver.
Lysithea is the daughter of Count Ordelia, and is probably the youngest student here. But watch out, she gets angry if you treat her like a child. As for me, I do it on purpose. You have to make your own fun in this place, you know? Marianne is Margrave Edmund's daughter, and that's pretty much all I know about her. She doesn't interact much with other students, so I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of folks here have never even heard her speak.
Marianne is interesting as a character because she's essentially a depressed Disney princess, so to speak. She can talk to animals, and she has like the what you might call like a typical Disney princess look. Like if you imagined her in a Disney princess dress, she would fit absolutely right in. It's just she is shy and depressed as hell for some pretty good reasons, honestly.
Hilda is the only daughter of Duke Goneril. It seems her father and brother coddle her quite a bit. If you look up lazy in the dictionary, her picture won't be there because she never got around to submitting it. Not too unusual for a noble, I guess.
The most hilarious thing about Hilda is honestly that she's always like, I don't want to train, I don't want to get my fingers dirty, I'm gonna leave all the fighting to you guys, and then you give her an axe and she just demolishes everything. Like, there is a single female War Master in this entire game, because War Master is usually a male locked class, and it's a character that shows up if you recruit Hilda, and it shows up as her replacement basically. And this female War Master is a beast. Like, she can pretty much handle the entire enemy crew all by herself. It's like, we got it, we're good.
Leone enrolled because she wants to be a mercenary. I think she said that her father is a hunter. She's pretty blunt and as stingy as they come. A habitual saver, too. I think she's hoping to repay her village for helping to send her here.
Now, Leone gets a lot of flack from the fanbase because she does hate Byleth's guts in the beginning. She's like, well, I'm not necessarily hate, but she's like very adversarial. But if you look at literally any support of hers outside of her supports with Byleth, she's actually an amazing character. So I really came to like Leone eventually.
What do you think? The Golden Deer House is for students of the Leicester Alliance. Our house leader is heir to the Alliance's leadership, House Regan. We have plenty of other prominent nobles as well.
Ah, you must be that renowned mercenary. Perhaps you'd like to join me for a cup of tea sometime. My name is Lawrence Hellman Gloucester. You will want to remember it.
Oh my god, and that middle name too. Now I think of mayonnaise.
So you're the skilled mercenary who saved Claude, are you?
Oh, you are? It's such an honor to meet you. Ignatz Victor. My parents are Alliance merchants.
And I am Lysithea von Ordelia. Please do not forget it.
What do you think?
Hey, are you that mercenary? Everyone's been talking about you. I'm Hilda Valentine Goneril, and her name is... Marianne von Edmund. Are you joining the Knights of Seros or something? Well, I look forward to seeing more of you.
So here's a neat little bit of world building. All of the noble students of Fargus have a name that's basically first name, middle name, last name. All the noble students of the Empire have a name that's first name, von, last name. And in the Alliance, the nobles, kind of a mixed bag because the Alliance split off from both of them. And all the commoners only have a first name and a last name. With the exception of, I guess you could say, Petra, because Petra is classified as a commoner, but she is actually a foreign princess, so. Leone is so friendly, and that's the noble lady Hilda. I wouldn't exactly call Hilda a noble lady, but yes, Leone is friendly. Unless your name is Byleth, then she hates you.
Are you someone's guest? The dining hall's that way, if that's what you're looking for.
No, Raphael. That's Captain Gerald's kid. Hi, I'm Leone Pinelli, Captain Gerald's first and greatest apprentice. I'm sure he's told you about me.
Nice to meet you. I'm Raphael Kirsten. Who are you again?
He's not the brightest. I like Annette's positive attitude. I think she's a little too positive, honestly. Lysithea is the youngest student. True until you recruit Cyril. Cyril is 1 year younger than Lysithea, actually. We're gonna talk to Dimitri last.
Okay.
I like the Du's calm attitude. Oh, that's very nice of you. I love it when NPCs say nice things about the Du. Felix is a lone wolf. His ability is actually called Lone Wolf, so that matches.
This classroom belongs to the Blue Lion House. Our house leader is Prince Dimitri. All of us here hail from the Holy Kingdom of Fargus.
Well, well.
It must be my lucky day today, being approached by such a beauty. I'm Sylvain Jose Gautier. Feel free to say hi whenever you like.
I literally just did. Also, if you play as female Byleth and you choose a different house, you can automatically recruit Sylvain. Like, literally, you just have to talk to him, hit recruit, and he joins you. Because you're hot. Which is like... Considering what happens during the time skip between part 1 and part 2, that's kind of a problem, I think.
Hi there. You must be the one everyone's talking about. I'm Ash. Great to meet you. This here is Dedu. He serves Prince Dimitri.
I have heard that you rescued His Highness. Words cannot express my gratitude. Should you ever require my strength, please know that I will hasten to repay this debt.
So Dedu will probably be the most difficult character to get into his final class for this playthrough, because I'm planning to make him a great knight. I have done it before, it is absolutely doable. It just means that his speed growth is going to be shit, and he has a weakness in riding, so that's gonna be slightly problematic. Yep, Felix, Ingrid and Sylvain are old friends, and Dimitri as well. Like the Fargus Four, as they are sometimes called in the fandom.
I have heard all about what you did from Prince Dimitri. As a citizen of Fargus, I thank you.
He also said you're quite skilled, and he doesn't just say things like that. I look forward to sparring with you, and beating you.
Felix, must you always speak of fighting right away? Oh, and, you may call me Ingrid. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
So, little fun fact, Japanese cultural fun fact, this haircut that Ingrid has, where she's got like the bangs and then she's got like the tiered bangs, that's called a hime cut. That is a typical, very feminine haircut for princess style characters or noble ladies. That's considered like the proper noble lady cut.
And who's this? You don't look familiar at all. Do you work here at the monastery?
Oh, Mercy! Do you think this is that mercenary people have been talking about?
Now that I think about it, that does sound like something Dimitri may have said. I suppose you'll be enrolling at the Officers' Academy too, then? Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Mercedes, and this is my best friend.
I'm Annette. It's nice to meet you.
Likewise, Annette's hairstyle is automatic, like, visual cue for a character who is more girly, more childlike, and maybe a little naive. And Mercedes' hairstyle is infamous in anime fandom as the Motherly Side Braid, which is usually a sign that the character is gonna die soon. Because usually when a character has that kind of side braid, it's basically just, okay, this is the mother character, she's gonna die in the tragic backstory. Which is hilarious because after the time skip, Mercedes cuts her hair, so there's this joke in the fandom that she cut her hair in order to avoid death.
Okay.
Hey! This is the classroom of the Black Eagle House, which is for students from the Adjutants Empire. Our house leader is Princess Edelgard. There are many other nobles among our ranks as well.
Hubert is cute? Okay, lady, what's wrong with you? Like, I'm not saying that he can't be, like, attractive, but cute? Like, what? What? Okay, you're weird, lady. Ferdinand's smile makes me melt. He is a rather attractive man, yes.
What? I don't talk to strangers.
Bernadetta, this is no stranger. Our house leader owes this person a great debt. Is that not right?
I am Ferdinand von Eyre, legitimate son of the Eyre family, the Empire's foremost house. Are you going to join our class? I look forward to getting better acquainted with you.
Rest in peace, Billy Kametz. You were amazing as Ferdinand.
Oh. Well now, you don't have a familiar face. What brings you here? Oh, my name is Dorothea. Before I joined the Academy, I was a member of an opera company in the Empire. You should hear me sing sometime.
So I'm not sure if it's already during this first dialogue or just later, but if you play as male Byleth, Dorothea flirts so much with you. She still flirts with female Byleth to some extent, but if you are male Byleth, it is so much more and so much more obvious.
true that you saved Edelgard? That's incredible. The name's Caspar, by the way. Pleased to meet you.
Linhard, goodbye.
Sheesh, Linhard. How'd you get into the academy with those manners? So, are you a student here too? Maybe we'll be in the same class.
I am Hubert, a humble servant of Lady Edelgard. I heard you came to the aid of Her Highness. You have my most sincere thanks. This is Petra. She has come all the way from Brigid to study in the Empire. Back on her archipelago, she is actually a princess. In Fodlan terms, she would be called heir to the throne.
Hello, I am called Petra. I am pleased to be meeting with... I am pleased to have met you.
I relate so hard. I have lived in places where I did not speak the language properly, so I relate to the struggle. Hang in there, Petra, you're doing fine. Okay, let's talk to Dimitri, but we're not gonna finish the quest just yet.
Please accept my apologies for the other day. You came to our aid, yet I hadn't even the courtesy to properly introduce myself. I am Dimitri Alexandra Blythed, Crown Prince of the Holy Kingdom of Fargus. Of course, at the Academy, I am simply a student. And I've heard word that you are to become a professor here. Delightful news. I still have much to learn, but I'm confident I could benefit greatly from your guidance. In any case, welcome to the monastery. I hear you're investigating the different houses here. Did any of the blue lions catch your attention?
Yes, all of you caught my attention. Let's go.
Me? Oh, please forgive me. It's difficult to open up on the spot, don't you think? I'm afraid my story has not been a pleasant one. I do hope that doesn't color your view of me, but I understand if that can't be helped.
I do like that he has a weakness in access. I am pretty convinced that the only reason he has that is because the devs knew that if he had access or easy access to Wyvern Lord, he would be so busted. Like, Dimitri is already pretty busted. Edelgard is the best player face character because of the weapon she gets. Dimitri is the best enemy face character because of his abilities and stats and his just general setup that you can get with his rough abilities. So yeah, he is completely busted on enemy face, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Dedu was born in Dusker, and has been loyally working in my service for the past 4 years. He's rather taciturn, but once you get to know him, you'll see he's a kind and good-natured young man.
Dedu, why do you have to have a riding bane? This is gonna suck. But okay, we'll get you there.
Felix is the heir to House Fraldarius. He has a bit of a sharp tongue, but don't let that fool you. Deep down, he's a good guy. He gravitates toward people who are skilled. Perhaps you would enjoy a friendly competition with him sometime.
I love how Claude is just like dunking on all his classmates, and Dimitri is still trying to find like the positives about everyone. It's just like, yeah, this guy is actually an asshole, but he's actually really great if you get to know him.
He's the adoptive son of Lord Lenato of Castle Gaspar, but I hear he was born a commoner. He has an extremely earnest personality, so I'm certain he will approach your lectures with great enthusiasm.
Ash unfortunately has one of the most useless defining abilities, personal abilities.
Sylvain is the heir to House Gautier. He is a capable person who highly values his friends. That said, well, he's always been a bit of a skirt chaser, so to speak. Pardon my bluntness. I speak with him about it often, but it doesn't seem to help. I hear she was born to imperial nobility, but a twist of fate brought her to the kingdom. She may seem carefree on the surface, but she's actually a kind soul who pays careful attention to everyone around her.
Now, there is some debate in the game about, in the meta, about whether Linhard or Mercedes is the best healer in the game. I suppose it really depends on what you want, if you just want pure healing power or if you want utility with warp spells and such. If you want utility, it's Linhard. If you just want pure healing power, Mercedes' live to serve ability is pretty great because she heals herself as well as her allies.
Annette is Baron Dominic's niece. She is a talented student who scored extremely high marks at the Royal School of Sorcery. She's cheerful and hardworking. Brilliant, really. Though she can be a bit oblivious at times. I hear she caused an explosion in the kitchen last night.
A lot of people like to use Annette as a rally bot because, one, she has that personal ability, but also she learns like a bunch of different rally skills. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna make her a Dark Knight.
Ingrid is Count Galatia's daughter. She is also a childhood friend of Felix, Sylvain, and myself. She is diligent, industrious, and principled. In truth, she is more knightly than most knights you will ever meet.
And Ingrid is one of the best dodge tanks in the game, together with Ferdinand.
I appreciate your efforts.